Well, good morning, everybody. Here we are back at base leg maintenance. It's been way too long, I know. We've just been swamped. As you can see, the hangar is just very, very busy, and we got a ramp full of airplanes as well. And today we want to talk to you about, again, we're going to sound like we're harping on things, but Andrew, you probably want to chime in here too on some of the things we're just seeing repetitively, and we're really trying to get the word out, and we're not. Maybe you're not watching or paying attention, but for those of you who do watch, we ask that you help share as well, okay? So we've got two airplanes in this week, which have the same exact two problems. You want to highlight?
Yeah, so we've talked about this before, but again, it's the TBO time on the props. I think everybody looks at the hours, and some of these, especially the RVs, they don't accumulate hours very quickly over the years. So I think this aircraft maybe has 500-600 hours on it, but it's been 17 years since the prop was overhauled. So the TBO on this prop is 2,000 hours or 5 years, and well past that. So the concern, the prop isn't even in bad condition, but the concern is the seals inside here. So on a fixed pitch prop, obviously you wouldn't have that concern, but it's all the workings inside the hub that you get past that 8 to 10 year mark, and it really needs to be taken apart and resealed and redone. So that's why when we get especially past 10 years, really need to take the prop for an overhaul, and make sure that you're not going to have any issues on your prop.
Yeah, so again, Andrew mentioned 10 years, and the reality is we've got two airplanes in the shop this week, one at 20 years, one at 10 years. And we just had one maybe a month or two ago, took off, and it actually failed, right?
Yep.
Ended up
Yep.
requiring a complete propeller replacement. The blades in there ride in on bearings, and when they just sit or, they can fret and get scoring in there. So again, it's really, really important. The other thing we're asking all of you to pay attention to are hoses. Hoses also, unless they're Teflon, have a life expectancy. These have tags on them. I think it's 06 on the tags. So they've got a life expectancy of about 8 years. So again, 10 years is max on hoses. And same thing with this airplane and the other airplane we just did a pre-buy on this week. We have the exact same thing. So again, we just want to get the word out. Please pay attention to some of these life-limited things on your airplane. If you don't have it, I'm going to put a plug in here. Get the maintenance manual. Actually, one of the owners that we mentioned the hours on these things, he said, well, where do you find that information? Here's a very good place to find it. We know you get your repairman certificate and nobody trains you how to do it. So make an effort to educate yourself. There's lots of videos at the EAA as well. All right? So hi, everyone. Thanks for listening. We're just going to add a trailer onto the technical one today. It's a really, really neat story that I've enjoyed watching for a number of years. So with us today, we have the Smart family, Joe, Carol, and Miss Emily. And I've known them for, I don't know, a good 15, 20 years almost. We actually live in the same neighborhood at Mallard's Landing. And so what started a number of years ago, maybe 13 years ago now, I managed to have the honor of giving Emily her Young Eagle flight in a Stearman, which was a lot of fun. I get to see a lot of smiles in the mirror in the Stearman, and Emily clearly has a nice smile, and I remember it very, very well. And then a few years after that, Joe actually built an RV. I did. Okay, so and I managed to license that one. So just sitting on our front deck and watching the RV go by over the years, and we're going to talk about how much Miss Emily has grown in her aviation career. So why don't we start with, tell us a little bit about your RV, Joe.
Okay, yeah, I took 7.5 years in order to build the airplane. It was a family affair because my dad and I actually built it together, so it has a lot of good memories, for me and him both to be able to build an airplane. Pure family affair, and then it is extended over to my daughter, who we are very, very, very proud of, who we can let her talk about what she's going to be doing in the future. So thank you, Vic.
Great. So I actually had the opportunity to fly with Joe's dad, Emily's grandpa, in Stearman formation. He's an ex-military combat pilot, a lot of fun, learned a lot from Pete. But here's the real story, which I want all of you to kind of like get motivated and pay attention to. So Emily, tell us about your journey and where you're at today.
Well, um, like we said, I grew up in Mallards, and I got my first Young Eagles flight in the Stearman, and that was kind of one of the bigger um, influences on flying and having my grandfather be able to teach my private and get through everything that way. Like my dad said, it was a family affair in building this airplane. I remember um, Plico tubes and all sorts of stuff, doing rivets, yes, all of that. Growing up from the ages of 7 to when would we? It was 14, and then just flying it every once in a while. But now I am flying a CRJ 900. I went to school and got all the way through my ratings, became a CFI, CFII, but it really kind of boils down to all the influences in my life that brought me there, and it was really cool to have people who believed in me and to bring me to this point.
It's really way cool watching things like this happen at Mallards. 3 generations of family. We should have thought about it and had your dad here too today.
Oh, that would have been great.
You know, we'll have to do something with that when we get home. So it's really neat today. Emily is going to take me home in my Stearman. So the tables have really turned. I'll probably get my flying critiqued. Anyway, it's pretty exciting. How about Carol? Anything you want to say
Yeah,
about that
sure.
journey?
Sure. There's an awful lot of work that goes into becoming a professional pilot, and it's kind of a long road, but it's worth it. And each milestone that you meet, it's a progression, an accomplishment. We can't be more proud of Emily and what she's done. Got her private at 16,
17.
17.
Yeah.
Soloed at 16.
Mhm.
Yeah, she did.
And just watching her fly by herself for the first time was a bit unsettling to me. But you know, I just so proud of where she is today and all the hard work that she's put into it.
Who taught you to fly?
My grandfather taught me to fly.
That's right.
Yeah.
I used to watch her grandpa and her fly from our deck. And what airplane did you solo in?
I soloed in a Champ,
Yeah.
an Aranca Champ.
Yeah, it was a military paint scheme. It was really, really pretty.
Yeah, it was really
Anyway, just a neat story. I'm honored to have been a part of it, and I know it's going to continue. So we got 3 generations right here and a super supportive family, as you picked up from Mom here. So anyway, thanks for watching.